Hello students, it's Mr. Nguyen here. Today we are working on solving systems of linear equations by using the substitution method, okay? I'm going to show you a few examples from IXL practices, and you're going to see a variety of problems ranging from, pretty simple to a little bit more complex. So let's start with this first easy example. This is the case where they already give you one of the answers, okay? So they're giving you the value for y already. So that means you have half of your solutions already. So this is the easiest, I guess, shortest case that you will see. So what you do is all you have to do is work on the second equation to find the value for x, right? So you're going to write this 3x minus 2y, but instead of y, I'm going to substitute the values that is for y, which is -6, okay? That way I can solve for x, so equal -12, okay? So I'm going to type because I think I can type a little bit faster than I write. So this will be -3x, oops, that's positive. -3x, sorry. And now be careful here. You're going to take -2 and you're going to multiply it by -6. That's actually going to give you a +12 answer equal to -12, okay? So now what you want to do is you want to, in order to solve for x, you got to move this 12 away, right? You're going to move this 12 away by subtracting it. So you're going to be subtracting 12. Well, if I subtract, sorry, that's the school bell. If I subtract 12, I'm going to end up with -3x equals, this 12 is gone. So over here I have -12 minus 12. Think of it as two -12. So -12 and -12 actually give you -24, right? Then my last step is dividing. I'm going to divide everything by -3. Divide that by -3, divide that by -3 because I want just x, right? So if I do that, I would get x equal to -24 divided by -3, end up giving you a positive answer because of the two negatives. So that's going to be 8, okay? So x is equal to 8 and y is -6. So let me erase this little thing here. I'm going to type in my answer. +8 for x and -6 for y. Okay, submit. Ta-da! All right, let's clear this. Let's do that. Well, this one is the same, so I'm going to skip. That way you can see a different type of problem, okay? This one is different because this one has both equations solved for y already. Whenever you have this, it's technically telling you to take one of the expression and replace it with the other y. So virtually, the two expressions are equal to each other. So it makes sense, right? If both things are equal to the same thing, then they have to equal to each other. So my equation is going to be -2x minus 5 equal 2x minus 1. Okay, so two expressions equal to each other because they equal to the same thing, which is y. And so now I'm going to be able to solve for x. Okay, notice I have a -2x here and a +2x here. I want to move the -2x over here. That way I can just add 2x and get my positive answer. Okay, if I move the other +2x, when it goes over here, it will be negative. So the rule of thumb is always move the smaller variable, because when you move the smaller variable, it becomes bigger when it goes to the opposite side, right? It's opposite. At the same time, I can move this -1 back, and it's going to be plus 1, okay? Plus 1. So solving equation is pretty much that. You manipulate your variables, so you move them around, okay? So let's see what we got. -5 plus 1 is -4. So think of it as -5 and +1 together, okay? Equals, well, 2x plus 2x is going to give me 4x, okay? And then this becomes very easy. You're going to divide both sides by 4. So you're going to get -1 equals to x, okay? So I found one of my answer. I found one of my answer. My first value is -1. That's my x value. And then to get my y value, I have two options here. I have the first equation I can use. I also have the second equation I can use because both of these equations will give me the y variable. Well, the second equation looks less complicated because of it has less negatives. So I'm going to pick that one. It doesn't matter which one you pick, just pick the one that's easier to work with. So I'm going to pick the second equation and I'm going to write y equals 2, and instead of x, I'm going to multiply that by -1, right? I'm going to replace x with a -1 and then -1. That's my second equation right there, okay? And I'm going to work this out, and I will get y equals 2 times -1 is -2, and then -1, and that is going to give me -3. So think of it as -2 and -1 together will give you -3. So I got my second answer, -3. Submit. Okay. This next one is like the first problem we did where you substitute one of the answers in there. So I'm going to skip level and jump level. This one is just like the one we just did, right? You set both of them equal. So I'm going to skip again. I just want to show you guys a variety of different types of problem. This one's the same. So when you pass 70, I think they're going to make it a little bit more challenging, like this. This is where it's different because both of your equations are in standard form, right? So what do you do when this is the case? Well, your goal is to get one of these variables by themselves. So look at the second equation. You can solve the second equation for y, or you can solve for x. It doesn't really matter because here they're both positive. I'm just going to solve for x. It's my, I don't, just random, right? You could have solved for y. So I'm going to move the y away because I want x by itself. If I move the positive y away, it will become -y when it goes to the opposite side, right? So my equation 2 actually becomes x equals -12 minus y. Okay, so what happened after this? Well, you already have an expression that represents the x variable. So this expression over here represents the x variable. Well, that, according to substitution law, you can actually take it and substitute it in here because that is the same x that is down here, okay? So instead of writing x, I could substitute this expression in there. But you go, well, why do you want to make that difficult? Well, it's not, it looks more complicated, but now your equation 1 doesn't have the x anymore. That means you can solve for y now, right? So I'm going to take this expression or equation and I'm going to rewrite it with the x variable replaced. So 9 and then parentheses. Don't forget your parentheses. And then you're going to replace x with -12 minus y. Close the parentheses and then write the rest of your equation. The rest of your equation is -5y equals -10. Okay, so don't forget to write the rest of your equation. Okay, now you're going to just use algebra to solve this equation for y. Okay, it looks a little complicated, so let's take it slowly. -12 times 9. Well, you can use a calculator if you want to make it faster, but you can do this in your head. 9 times 12, 9 times 10, okay, is 90. And then 9 times 2 is 18. So it's going to be 100, it's going to be 108. So I'm going to put -108 down because of the negative sign. And then minus 9 times y is 9y. Remember, we have to use the distributive property, right? We have to multiply 9 through here, and we have to multiply 9 with the second term as well. Okay, and then write the rest of them down. The rest of them is oh, I lost my light. Minus 5y equals -10. Okay. And then now what you want to do is you want to simplify this equation even further to make it shorter so you can solve. You can combine like terms and at the same time move the 108 away. Okay, so I'm going to have adding 108 to this side. Okay, and I'm going to combine the -9 and -5 together. Okay, so let's see what we get. So the 108 is gone. Now I'm going to combine. So I get -14y equals 108, 108 positive, and then -10. That's going to give you 98 positive, right? 108. So it's kind of like thinking 108 minus 10, sort of say, okay? 108. And then what you're going to do eventually is you're going to divide by negative 14, right? So what you want to do is, next step is divide by negative 14 so that you can get the value for y, okay? Negative 14. Okay, guys, if you're doing these problems with numbers that are large like this, it might be useful to use a calculator to help speed it up a little bit, okay? So what is my answer then? Well, y equals, I think negative 98 divided by negative 14 is negative 7. Okay, so y is equal to negative 7. So I got half of my answer. I'm going to put this up here. Make sure you put it in the right space. Negative 7, okay, is the y value. And then now, to find the x value, you already have this part worked out for you, right? So it says x equal. That means whatever y is, you plug it in, that's going to give you the x value. Now, you have to be careful. The y is already negative, and this is a minus y. So what I want to do is I want to minus a negative 7. So my expressions become x equals negative 12 minus a negative 7, okay? So now, if you don't trust your mental math, you can type all of that into your calculator, and it's going to give you the correct answer regardless, right? You're going to do negative 12. You're going to do negative 12 minus a negative 7. So it's kind of like saying negative 12 and positive 7, which will give you negative 5, okay? So the answer for x is negative 5, okay? Submit. So when your equation is both in standard form, you have to solve for one of the variable. Okay, submit. Ta-da. Okay, this one's the same thing. This one's the same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna solve the second equation. Look at the first equation. It's kind of complicated. I don't want to solve for x because I have to divide by negative 3. I don't want to solve for y because I have to divide by negative 7. The second equation, I don't want to solve for x because I have to divide by 2. Okay, so, but if I solve for y, I don't have to divide by anything. I just need to move the 2x away. So pick your easiest equation to solve, okay? So the second equation will become da, 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 y equals 14 minus 2x, right? Because I'm moving the positive 2x away. Okay, now that you have the expression for this, you're going to take that mess and you're going to put it in here for y. Okay, that's your second equations. And then rewrite the second equation. Okay, all the arrows just to let you know where I'm going with my work. So I'm going to rewrite the second equation, negative 3x minus 7 parentheses, oops, the other one, parentheses 14 minus 2x. That's the expression that represents y. So I'm substituting it in. Equals negative 10. Okay, now I'm going to use my algebra to simplify this equation. So first, I noticed that I need to multiply this negative 7 through to get rid of the parentheses. Okay, so distributive property. So what I'm going to end up having is the negative 3x stays the same, but the negative 7 is going to be multiplied by the negative 14, by the positive 14. So negative 7 times positive 14 is negative 98. So minus 98. Now, notice the second one, be careful, is negative 7 times negative 2. So it's going to be positive 14x. So you guys just need to be careful there, okay? Negative 14, negative times negative is positive. And then equal to negative 10 on the other side, okay? So now we're going to be combining like terms. This guy and this guy combined together. And at the same time, you can also move the negative 98 away by adding it to the other side. Remember, opposite operation, okay? 98. Okay, and so now I'm going to simplify. After I have figured out what I need to do, I'm going to simplify. I'm going to ask myself, what is negative 3x and positive 14x make? Well, it's positive 11x, okay, equals the negative 98 moved, so it's going to combine with the negative 10. So positive 98 and negative 10 will give you positive 88. Then last step, you divide by 11. Well, everybody can do this in their head. It is 8. So my first answer is 8. So I'm going to put 8 in here for x. Okay. For y, it's easy because you already have this worked out. So you take your 8 and you plug it back in here for x. Okay. So your expressions will become, what is it going to become? Y equals, oops, what did I just do? Oops, sorry. Here we go. I need to type that in. Y equals 14 minus 2 and then parentheses 8. Okay, because I'm replacing the x with the 8. Then you can either do this on a calculator or you can uh, do it in your head. 14 minus 16 is negative 2. Okay, because 2 times 8 is 16. So my second answer is negative 2. 2. Okay, submit. All right, guys, if you do this by yourself and you get to this score, it is considered pretty darn good. Okay, if you want to continue, your math and your algebra is going to be a little bit messier. So if you practice by yourself and you get this score, you can stop. Okay, I would probably stop at 85. Okay, or 90. So this score right here is good. Okay, I am going to stop here. If you have more questions, you can send emails directly to me and I will help you out. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.